Hello, I'm back again. My name is Brenda Sharp. I'm a psychologist and a coach, and we've had conversations, a series of conversations, starting from attachment to parenting styles. And I know in the last conversation on parenting styles, we talked about you have to care and parent yourself first. But before we go into self, first as a parent, we also come into the roles. Being a parent is a role. The same way being a spouse is a role, being a child is a role, being a daughter, being a son is a role, being a friend is a role, and we play different roles in our lives. And we put a little focus on the parenting role in the previous conversation. Now, I know the COVID-19 situation has brought us together in our houses, some that are so uncomfortable, some that are very peaceful and comfortable, depending on where you are. And couples are brought together. I had someone commenting the other time that children were like, you mean daddy comes home? Like, it's so frustrating because everyone is like, ah, this guy is never around. So he's now here. How do we deal with it? Or mommy who is always so strict and harsh and has the space of going to work and suddenly she's in this space. And all these personalities are being brought together. And while looking at now the couple space, uh, that brings the conversation now to how we relate to each other as individuals. Before we become parents, of course, children are a product of sex. I wanted to say love, but I realized maybe not. Well, they're a product of sex, or they're a product of human interaction, body wise. And while some, yes, are adapted, but we are all a product, certain level of these human interactions. And interactions are always shifting because we are always shifting. The way my partner saw me the first time we met and the way he sees me now is completely different because I'm constantly changing and he too constantly changing. And this applies to all our relationships. However, sometimes we get into our interactions expecting each other to remain the same or having expectations of how people should be or behave. Now, this form of expectations gives us a sense of burden because we want to place a little bit of control. And it's not our fault that we have these expectations. Most of us, attach in relationships based on how our attachments were. So if your form of attachment is an avoidant attachment, so you are always evasive and trying to protect yourself and being repulsive from an expression of love. And if you are from an anxious attachment, then you are very clingy and you want to hold on to your partner and you do not want them to do anything outside of your control. And this plays out a lot in the couple's relationship. And if there's an imbalance, now that's life is all about balance, my friend. When there is that imbalance between relationships, it will be seen by children. And the funny thing about children is that you don't have to tell them anything. They can see. They see body language. They see the emotions. They see that mommy is sad. They see that daddy is sad. They see that mommy is angry. They see that daddy is angry. They see that mommy is happy. You know, they see that daddy is happy, is excited. And these emotions reflect on how they reflect on us. And sometimes parents, we are so lost in our own being that we don't recognize how our own interaction as a couple leaks out. And things don't have to be perfect all the time. And they're not anyway, even if we wanted them to be. But during these moments of conflicts, there are ways in which these conflicts can be addressed in a way that we can, if I may not use protect, but we can, yeah, care, we can continue to care for our loved ones who we stay with. So maybe the situation of COVID-19 is forcing us to be together again, and our busy lives were allowing us, to be away from each other and avoid all the confrontation. And suddenly, it's hitting us. So I just want to remind us that the role of being a couple is key, and of being in this relationship is key. It's key to know that it's a role that we play, and how we play it out determines how we feel about ourselves and how we express affection and care to others, the loved ones. By the way, if you doubt me, if you look at some of the research that has been done on happiness, there's also there's been shown a connection between happiness and people's relationships. So if your relationship is well proper, healthy connection, then the chances of happiness is higher. Now, when it comes to being a couple, there's the individual self and there's the social self, the one that connects with the other. You cannot connect with the other if within yourself there's a disintegration, unless you're able to connect with yourself first. And that's why I keep talking about, what parenting style you were brought up in, what attachment you are brought up in. That calls for self-awareness. Because sometimes we may focus so much on addressing the needs of the partner, or trying to project our problems on the partner without recognizing ourselves as the individual. Or we may forget ourselves in the dance of being the couple. And I think I'll get into the individual self more in the next conversation. But now looking at the relationship as a couple. There are a few things. I'm not a relationship expert, but there are a few things I would like to share. We can talk about love. Love is actually, it's an emotion. Also, it's a body function, because when people are in love, there's all these emotion and hormones that arise. There's the excitement, the motivation that come as a result. Yeah, the feel good dopamine hormone is the oxytocin that you get after the sex. And all these play out in our body functions. And when there is a balance, is when love is healthy. That's what I would say. But when there is an imbalance, is when actually love is unhealthy. Now, to seek this balance, it's like a dance. Yeah. And in a dance, it involves pull, it involves push, and it's the understanding that if I push this far, this person is going to fall. And if I pull, I am going to fall. It's understanding the other. If it is a dance that involves a pull and push, and you're pulling the other, let's say you have a partner who is 100 and something kilos and my 50 kg, and decides to pull, I'm likely to be either pulled away or fall, yeah? And if the dance that you're seeking a balance, then they would understand that this is the match that this person can dance along in this cycle and in this balance of love. And so I'll just say that that is really key and important. Well, sometimes relationships have unfolded, they have taken its tangents, and it's no longer the same. If anything, having the person is no longer, healthy. But given our societal functions and how the roles we play, we want to, keep up the status quo. And if this is necessary, and sometimes even for the children, just to have that balance in which children have a consistent presence of caregivers, then it's important to be friends. Because if you are still angry, resentful towards the other person, then it will show in your relationship with the child, you know. And that really interferes with your role as a parent and even your well-being, because usually when there's that anger, then unforgiveness has started from within yourself. So I would say that if you have to live together, then I think a lot of self-work is necessary if emotions that keep being evoked as a result are emotion pattern that pull you towards, self-hate or anger or things that are maladaptive in a way. They're not helping you. You want to be in a peaceful state. You want to be able to care. You want to be able to care for yourself, be healthy, eat well. But if you feel the person in your space is making you lose appetite, or is making you, you cannot even exercise, you have the least motivation to wake up and do anything, then that's a problem. You want to reflect on yourself and that. We all have, all those moments when that is really necessary. Now, also, the other thing to also know is if 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 there's abuse, and if you grew up in attachment patterns that were abusive, you're likely to be attracted to abusive patterns. So you may find that suddenly now that there's an emotional abuser in your space or physical abuser in your space. And every time it's a quarrel, it's an insult, it's a fight. Um, that can take away a lot of your energy as a person. And what I would say is when you revisit yourself as an individual and try to work on yourself, it becomes easier to manage the other person. And especially if you have to coexist and live with the other person. But most importantly, it's important to discuss it, especially for the sake of the children. Because hurt people hurt others. The other person does the same because they have suffering within them based on their upbringing. Maybe if you make them aware, and especially if you've worked on yourself, it becomes easier to help the other person reflect on how their history, their own lives have informed who they are and how it's interfering in your relationship. Maybe these maladaptive patterns are already so much, they are already in excess. Maybe they're already manifesting in suicidal tendencies. Maybe they're already manifesting in addiction patterns. Maybe they are already manifesting in self aggression or self harm and aggression towards others. And then maybe you need to seek help. You might want to seek help. And is a system that somehow works, and both, if very necessary, you can refer to a therapist and who can support the system. And this is key. As we are being home during this COVID 19, you want to work in a space that, even if it is painful, it's a space where there is growth because not everything is going to be perfect. But when there is continuous growth, there's that awareness, then that allows for your adaptive resources to unfold and to help you be a better version of yourself. I wish you love, be the first lover to yourself, teach others how to love you, and that can improve how you relate to the other. Otherwise, bye, keep well, and keep safe.